Hello students, I'm Aanchal Sharma, your educator. In this video, we are going to discuss about another novelist, and today we're going to discuss about Anita Desai. So this picture in front of you is of Anita Desai. Let us know something about her. So Anita Desai is one of the prominent gifted novelists in the Indian English that we have. She was born in Mussoorie on 24th June 1937 to a Bengali father and a German mother. Her father was Bengali while her mother was German. She grew up studying English, Hindi, Bengali and German, though the language in which she started to write was English. English was her first language. She began her writing at the age of 7 and it was in English. She has written multiple novels, a lot of stories, children book and articles as well. She is often considered as a psychological novelist who writes about the psyche. She is considered as a psychological novelist and a feminist writer who deals with the major themes like the isolation, the lack of communication. There is she keeps on writing about inner struggle, man-woman relationship, marital discord. Her protagonists are always female. So it is Anita Desai who started to talk about what? She started to talk about the inner psyche of the women. She started to talk about the inner struggles that the women face in a patriarchal society. In a society where there is a lack of confusion, she always has characters or the female protagonists that are very psychological in nature. They are always in their own minds. They keep on talking to themselves and they keep on talking and thinking simultaneously. And the theme of isolation is also very prominent in her works. So these are the few themes. Also, the theme of marital discord is seen in a plethora of novels that she has written. Being very important is Cry the Peacock, and we'll be discussing about the novels in the video. So she is regarded as the writer who introduced the psychological novels in the tradition of the Virginia Woolf. So Virginia Woolf in India. So she is considered the India's Virginia Woolf. Why? Because it is Virginia Woolf who started to write about psychological novels, how the women is talking to themselves, how they are thinking about the structure of their home, how they will think about the daily routine they will follow. So they are very, they are always in their head. And this is the same pattern in which Anita Desai also started to write. Her female protagonists are also the same. They are relying on realism, and that is the psychological realism. She introduced the psychological realism in her first novel that became very famous, Cry the Peacock, in 1963. She is without doubt the most read contemporary writer in the Indian English. She has written few short stories like The Circus Cat, How Gentle is the Mist, Tea with the Maharani, Ghost House, Mr. Bose's Private Bliss, Private Tuition by Mr. Bose, etc. are few of the very famous short stories that she has written. And you should at least know the names of these stories. But you should know about the publication dates of all the novels, because they keep on asking questions that are in the match the following column or in the chronological sector. There are other articles. So she has written essays and articles and reviews as well. Also, she has written a column in magazine and some of the columns in newspapers also. Collection of short stories like The Games of Twilight, which contains stories like Pineapple Cake, Sail, The Complianist, The Devoted Son, The Farewell Party, Pigeons and At Daylight, etc. are few of the stories that are seen in the collection The Games of Twilight. She has written books for the children like The Peacock Garden that came out in 1974, Cat on the Houseboat in 1976, Village by the Sea that came out in 1982. So these are the few works that you at least should know that Anita Desai has written. So she has written what? She has written few novels. First being Cry the Peacock. She has written short stories. She has also written columns in magazines and newspapers. She has written short story collections, and this collection's Game of Twilight contains the stories that are there, like the Pineapple Cake Sale, the Compilace, the Devoted Son, etc. She has also written children's book. Her stories are followed by the first novel that she wrote, that is Cry the Peacock, that came out in 1963. Desai has contributed to the Indian English literature by her valuable novels. The novels are as follows. There is Voice in the City, that came out in 1965, of course after Cry the Peacock. Then we have Bye Bye Blackbird, 1971. Where Shall We Go This Summer, that is in 1975. Fire on the Mountain, 1977. Clear Light of the Day, 1980. In Custody, very important, that came out in 1984. Baumgartner's Bombay, that came out in 1989. Journey to Ithaca in 1999. So you should know the dates, and it is important. The names are important and the dates are also very important. So the first novel is Cry the Peacock, then we have Voice in the City, we have Bye Bye Blackbird, we have Where Shall We Go This Summer, Fire on the Mountain, Clear Light of the Day, In Custody, etc. All of them being important. She has been awarded with numerous prizes and honors, including the Padma Shri, the Padma Bhushan from the Government of India. There is the Tarakanath Das Award, that was for the promotion of the Indo-US relations about which she was talking. Then she also won the Sahitya Academy Award for her novel Fire on the Mountain in the year 1978. So this is something you have to remember. She has received Padma Bhushan, she has also received Padma Shri, but what is most important, she has received the Sahitya Academy Award also for her novel Fire on the Mountain, that came out in 1977. And in which year she received the prize? She received the prize in 1978, right? Now, her three novels, The Clear Light of the Day, In Custody, and Fasting Feasting, had been nominated for the prestigious Booker Prize Award as well. So she was nominated thrice for the Booker Prize Award. What are these three novels? First being The Clear Light of the Day, then In Custody, and then Feasting Fasting. Her novel In Custody was adopted by the Merchant Ivory production in English film by the same name. So her novel In Custody, that talks about the language deterioration, how Urdu is deteriorated now, how Hindi is being replaced. It was also adapted as a movie by the Merchant Ivory production, right? And with the same name. It was directed by Ismail Merchant. It won the 1994 President of India Gold Medal for the Best Picture. The noted Indian film personality Shashi Kapoor, we have Shabana Azmi and Om Puri who enacted in the picture, right? So we'll quickly revise what we have done. These are the few novels that are very important for you to know, and the dates as well. Then we discussed that there are few prizes that Anita Desai received. These prizes are like Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, and also she has received Sahitya Academy Award for her novel Fire on the Mountain, that came out in 1977. Award was given in 1978. She has been nominated thrice for the Booker Prize Award, which is itself a very prestigious thing to happen. These novels were Clear Light of the Day, In Custody, and Feasting Fasting. Her novel In Custody is also a movie adaptation that came out and won prizes as well, and famous personality like Shashi Kapoor, Shabana Azmi and Om Puri enacted in that picture. Then we have some other works, and you should know about the dates. As I told you, the Zigzag Way, in 2004 it came. When on Route 80 in Ohio in Way, the Indian writer as an expatriate. This came out in 2004. These are the other works that she has written. Biculture, Adrift and Wandering, In the Writing Life, Writers on How They Think and Work. This is also a work. Then there is the work like Diamond Dust, Feasting, Fasting, Journey to Ithaca. Then there is Bumgarden's Bay, In Custody, The Village by the Sea, Clear Light of the Day, The Peacock Garden, Where Shall We Go This Summer, Games at Twilight, Fire on the Mountain. So these are the few works, and others are also there. Bye Bye Blackbird, Voice in the City, and Cry the Peacock, right? So these are all the works that you should at least read about them and know the dates, their publishing dates, because the questions are asked. Now let us discuss about the summaries. Also, we have some children literature. You can take a screenshot. I have added the books and some of the short stories. The Peacock Garden, Cat on the Houseboat, Circus Cat, How Gentle is the Mist. These are few of the children literature that she has written. You can take screenshots. I can give you a minute. Now, let us discuss about the important novels, and also let us talk about the characters. Okay, so Cry the Peacock, that came out in 1963, is the first novel of Anita Desai. This deals with Maya, who is trapped in a very bad marriage. She is completely trapped. She is feeling claustrophobic, and she knows that she is not happy with Gautama. Though she initially thought that she is in love with that person, but she knows that she cannot be with her. There are a lot of things that are happening simultaneously in this novel. She is trapped in a bad marriage to Gautama, who is much older to him. The action of the novel is set in Delhi. Almost the entire story is the remembrance of the things that Maya is thinking about herself. So it's a psychological novel. In the initial pages of the novel, you will see that how much she is trapped inside the marriage. Cry the Peacock. This is also a story that talks about the superstition. Also, she came to know that after 4 years of marriage, Maya came to know that after 4 years of marriage, one of them, either the husband or the woman, would die. So what happens? She becomes so claustrophobic by thinking about this that she actually kills her own husband. She was devastated by the news. In fact, the title of the story is very significant. This story has underlining themes of alienation. Initially, Maya used to think that it will be very torturous for her to have kids. If she has 3 kids, 3 girls, it would be very difficult for them to live. She keeps on imagining that her life is problematic. It is not that Gautama is not a good husband, is not in love with her, but of course there is an age difference. It becomes a psychological novel because whatever is happening in the mind of Maya. She is literally, as the word Maya says, she is remembering the things and thinking all of this according to herself. She is plotting the things in her head. She later kills her own husband just with the fear of that superstition that she knew that someone would die. As I told you, the title is also very important. So it is said that when the peacocks consummate with one another, one of them would die. So it is what? It is the cry of the peacock, the cry of the love, that one has to sacrifice themselves. Similarly, this is a pun that Anita Desai is using. Maya is also in love with the husband, but she is not even aware about it. And one of them has to die. Also, there are so many theorists who have talked about this novel as a psychological thriller, and how it is the woman who is always seen as a person who is what? Who is a person who becomes a mad woman. So gradually, as the life, as the work goes on, we see that she kills the husband. That means she is mad. Just as the woman tries to talk or move out of the family structure, move out of the patriarchal society, she is being termed as someone who is mad. So these are the underlining themes that go with the novel Cry the Peacock. Then we have Voices in the City. Voices in the City 1965 was followed by Cry the Peacock, and it is set in Calcutta this time. The city of Kali, that is the goddess of death. Desai makes the mother of Nirod and his two sisters, that is Monisha and Amla, also having the characteristics of Kali, who unleashes her evil powers. Monisha kills herself because she cannot bear the strain of her marriage to a man called Jeeban. So she cannot live. Anita Desai is portraying the hardships of a woman who is considering herself to be claustrophobic in nature, and she is trapped in this bad marriages. She is giving us the details of a family structure where the woman is expected to follow the patriarchal norms. They have to have kids. They cannot live without the man in the house. They are fully dependent on the man. The greater part of the novel is devoted to Nirod's move from failure to failure. And then we talk about Amla. Amla, who has not been in Calcutta for a very long time. And here, of course, Desani is also talking about the evil cities and, punning about the cities. The resistance of the city's influence is being focused. So she is not coming to Calcutta. Otherwise, she will also be influenced by what? By the way Kali works, by the way the goddess of death works in the kingdom of Calcutta. So she is not coming because she wants to resist the city's influence. The narration is on the behalf of the characters after whom the chapters are also titled. Bye Bye Blackbird, that came in 1971, deals with the Indian immigrants in Britain and the emotional disturbances. So there are three important characters. We have Adit Sen and Dev. These and the wife of Amit Sen also. So Adit Sen also. So Adit Sen and his wife and his friend Dev are living there. Also, there are some problems, and this book talks about the clashing of the views and the problems that you go through when you are an immigrant in Britain and the emotional distress through which you have to go through. Then where shall we go this summer? Sita is the person who is very much trapped in a joyless family and a joyless marriage with Raman. So she goes on to forsake the place called as Manuri, an island in Marwar, to escape the mundane reality of her husband and her four children. So she just leaves her home because she cannot live there anymore. She is feeling trapped and she is devoid of all the love because she is married in a very joyless structure and she is not feeling happy at all. Then Fire on the Mountain. Fire on the Mountain is a very important novel. It was published in 1977 and the character is Nanda Kaul. Nanda Kaul is the heroine of the novel and Raka is her grandchild who will come and visit her and live on the hills of Kasoli with her. There is another female character, Ila Das, that is present. This is a story talking about these three characters. Let us read. So, Nanda Kaul is the heroine of this novel. In order to break from her past, she retires to a haunted house that is in Karigananu in Kasoli. However, both the past and the present will imping on her existence, depriving her of any peace. The past, induces a lot of pain and induces a lot of bad memory of her husband's infidelity. That means her husband was having the marital affairs. The present appears in the form of her great-granddaughter Raka, who disturbs her cherished isolation on the hills of Kasoli. things get complicated further with the presence of her classmate and friend Ela Das, who is now a welfare officer also. So the story goes like this, that we have Nanda Kaul and we are moving towards the backside story we have, and we have the current picture also. So it goes to and fro. So we gradually know that if we talk about present, Nanda Kaul is living on the hills of Kasauli alone without anyone else, and her daughter calls her one day saying that I want to send my child to you to live there with you because she was not keeping well. I myself am looking care of the other daughter I have because she is not psychologically stable. So I cannot take care of Raka. So for some time, try to be with Raka. Of course, being a mother, she cannot say no. She has to live with the pain of, looking at the expectations and fulfilling the expectations of everyone else. Initially, we now see the flashbacks. We see that Nanda Kaul was never in a happy married life because her husband was cheating on her. He was having an extramarital affair. She was never happy in the marriage. She was always bound to do the work. She was bound by the patriarchal society. And now, after completing her job, after getting her daughter married, she was now living peacefully on the hills. But now again, her existence is, her peace is being shattered and disrupted by Raka. But gradually, when Raka enters the domain, she realizes that Raka is very much like her. She is also very isolated. Then comes another phone call and she gets to know about Ela Das, that Ela Das has died. She has been raped by the person, an activist party welfare officer who was now working with Ela Das only. So they were trying to help a child who was suffering and who was going through this sati pratha. This is also a practice about which they talk about in the novel. So Ela Das was fighting for the rights of the girl, but she herself got raped. So ultimately at the end, we see that it is Raka who is coming back to the grandmother and telling that I have, because of some mishap, I have placed fire on the mountain, and there is you can see at the end that there's fire going on in the forest. So this means that we are all in this loop. The feminine energy is always in the loop, though they have so much power, though they have so much fire in them, but what happens? So it's like an open-ended novel. So at the end, we see that Raka is just running towards the grandmother who has already received the news of Ela Das, and they all feel void and distress. So Nanda Kaul could not get what she wanted, that was peace. She could not get peace. In custody in 1984 now deals with the tussle between your Urdu language and Hindi language. So in custody deals with Devan Sharma, who loves Urdu a lot and he wanted to teach Urdu. But he teaches Hindi to support his family. He has no resort. He has to succumb to the academic structure, and to keep the family working, he has to somehow work in the university and teach Hindi. He does not even like the students there in the university who just come up and they are that ill-mannered. According to him, it is Urdu that is more sophisticated, and he just wanted to somehow teach Urdu. So his friend Murad asked him to interview Noor, an old Urdu poet, for the magazine that he edits. This simple project becomes very complicated as the novel progresses, and instead of one interview, Devan Sharma takes on the responsibility of writing the entire biography of Noor. So it is said that in the novel and in the movie adaptation also, beautifully the tussle between Urdu and Hindi is portrayed. So during that time, during the time of partition and other things were going on, and after partition also, Urdu was losing its texture. It was seen that Urdu was being replaced by Hindi, and it is Devan Sharma who desperately wanted to teach Urdu. But as Urdu was being lost, you know that you cannot teach Urdu in a structure or in a institutional structure where Urdu has no importance. So when he got a chance to record some to record a data for a magazine that is being created by his friend Murad, he recklessly just leaves all his work and went and goes off to visit Noor, an old person drinking, doing nothing but sitting, and then gradually meet different friends. Different friends would come there, laugh with him, make him drink again and again, and then just go. So this is itself a metaphor that is being used. This drinking Murad, this drinking Noor also talks up, conveys a lot of things. He is he just wants to die. He does not know what to do. He has two women in the house, two females, two wives. He is juggling between them. He does not know what to do. He has lost all his charm. Similarly, Urdu has lost all its charm. Urdu is also in between different tussles. So Noor is dying. Similarly, Urdu is dying. There is no one to protect Noor. In fact, the friends are coming to give Noor drinking, to make him drink so that he can portray, he can sing poems for everyone. So no one is caring about your favorite Noor. Also, there are white pigeons present in the novel. So these white pigeons at the end would be released. This is also a metaphor that initially at the end you have to let it go. Urdu has lost all its power. So this is the novel. Then you have The Baumgartner's Bombay in 1988. It talks about the World War II and is talking about the backdrop of the World War II. It gradually unfolds itself. Hugo Baumgart is the central character. He is German, he is a refugee, and he comes to India before the World War and then escape the persecution. Now this is one question that was asked. I have, I think, two questions that are related to Anita Desai only. So which of the following novels of Anita Desai is a children's book? Is it Fire on the Mountain, Fasting Feasting, The Zigzag Way, or it is The Village by the Sea? What is the correct answer? So the correct answer is D, that is The Village by the Sea. Let us move forward without wasting time. In which of Anita Desai's novel does an insane wife kill her husband? So is it Voices in the City, In Custody, Cry the Peacock, or Baumgartner's Bombay? So in which novel the wife kills the husband? The C is the right option, that is Cry the Peacock. I just told you that it is in the Cry the Peacock that the wife would kill the husband. So this is how we come to the end of the video. I am pretty sure that you have understood the different novels and the different works of Anita Desai. If you have any doubt, you can write it in the comment section. Thank you so much.